This may be a season of interruptions to your life. I know it is for mine. COVID-19 has come at a time where, while I work at home and while I'm accustomed to working from home, it has changed the way I work and who's around me while I work. There's so many. Use your schedule, use your planner, set your six most important intentions a day. And I'm a 100% believer in that when you work from home too. When you work in an environment where other people are more casual than you are while you're doing a Zoom, while you're doing a meeting, there are many things that need to happen to make sure you show up well. First of all, bandwidth. Some of you have the fastest internet in the West, and that is fantastic. Not every community has that. So one of the things I want to talk about when you're talking about Zoom is, when are you scheduling your time? During normal hours, when people are at school and such, at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, there's always a heavier pull on the internet in most local communities than the rest of the day. If your house has large bandwidth, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's not all being used when multiple people are using multiple devices at the same time. Did you know your microwave may interrupt your session? If someone's running your microwave during your Zoom time, you may suddenly find a lower bandwidth or unstable bandwidth message. It's also important to know where your router is. Your router is the thing that sends the signal out for your wireless connections. For some people, being directly connected to their router with a HEMI cord or HMDI cord may be a better choice. HDMI cord may be a better choice. But there are also people who put their router right next on their desk to the wireless, and that's too close for some computers, and you get a weaker resolution for that reason. Also, what is your lighting situation? If you want to have a picture with a green screen, you can buy a bounce-up green screen or a circle to put behind it, and Zoom has the ability for you to choose an artificial background so you don't have to have your home in the background and have the privacy of that. Or you can choose to have a room that's staged that way, take a great picture of it, and feed it into your green screen space. You just can't wear green anymore in your wardrobe. So there are other choices for lighting. Most of us don't have professional lighting. There are inexpensive kits from Amazon from anywhere from $9 to as much as you want to spend. But the lighting you're seeing right now is natural light with a lamp put right behind my computer so that I have light on the right-hand side where the natural light from the window isn't. I've turned my desk in such a way that I'm almost facing the window, but I'm at about a 45-degree angle. And that left this side of my face not getting much light. So I have a lamp on that side to even out the lighting, and it's clear. So there are many choices you can do to make sure that your Zoom meeting works. Don't forget to set it up where you're not putting your Zoom ID password and your Zoom ID room out on any of the social medias, because just like you wouldn't put your cell number out in any of the social media spaces, you're going to expect people to take advantage of that. There are groups out there, some of them are kids, some of them are teenagers, some of them are definitely hired by other businesses to bomb your Zoom meeting. They can come in and write on your walls if you have the whiteboard up. They can come in half-dressed or inappropriately speaking in your chat room. So it's a good idea to review how to have someone put out of your Zoom meeting if they come in, how to drop them, how to turn off the meeting room if someone's being inappropriate, and how to take back control if someone is writing on a whiteboard or not raising their hand. Most of you are going to be working from Pro and not from Webinar, which means that you're going to have the ability to turn off everybody at both places, but you're not going to have as many options to really protect it when it's a Pro meeting level. But that's okay. You've got enough if you'll just use what's there. Zoom has many, many, many choices when you look up the setup for protection and privacy of whether they can download your meeting, whether they can speak during your meeting, whether they come in muted, or whether they have the ability to ask permission to ask questions. A waiting room is really important. Now, a lot of you ask the question, but I don't know these people. How do I put them in the waiting room? And the answer is, if you put them in a waiting room, they're not seeing other people, first of all, and you can get an idea of their behavior. You can see who they look like. You can see if they're the right person. You can see if the address has an address that's one that's familiar to your registration list. You can see if they're willing to wait. My experience is that my class students and my adults know that they may need to wait 30 seconds to a minute or two while we verify who they are, and they're up for that. But likewise, the safest way to present something on Zoom and not be interrupted that way is to pre-tape it. This is a pre-taped piece of video that I then broadcasted through Zoom by sharing my screen. And that way I have control of how many interruptions happen in noise and sound or in presence during this part of it. And then later I'll stop sharing and go live for the question and answer afterwards. So I hope this will help you understand a little bit about, you have some choices on Zoom or any other brand you use. All of the brands have issues with interruptions. That is, Zoom's getting all the PR right now, but I can tell you from working with a cyber security expert, there is not any situation connected to the internet that another brand doesn't have some of the same problems. We know that Zoom got more influx of users in January than they had their entire last year because they were so generous to offer it to all of the schools and to not have a fee associated to that. And of course, when a lot of people use it without awareness of how to use it in best practice, and they don't take time to watch the videos that Zoom had so professionally made for years, and they're fantastic, by the way. If you've not taken time to go through Zoom training, it's worth your time. Then it will be expected that people are going to have a bad experience. That very first week of homeschooling, we saw so many people putting out Zoom rooms for churches and for schools publicly. And of course, the bad guys come because some people sit back and have nothing better to do than be the bad guy in something that they perceive as they can disrupt it. I know that you're looking forward to having a time where we're all back out in public and seeing each other in person again. I know I am too. But I'm thankful that this medium exists, and I'm thankful that we have YouTube, and I'm thankful that we have electronics, email, and FaceTime so that we can meet and we can go forward and we can learn together and we can continue our business as much as possible and keep hold of families and friends. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.